You will never, ever find a more nitpicking YouTuber than me. Let's find out how mad of a nitpicker I am. Aladdin is a 2019 American live-action animated musical fantasy produced by Walt Disney Pictures and directed by Guy Ritchie. The plot follows Aladdin, a street urchin, as he falls in love with Princess Jasmine, befriends a wish-granting genie, and battles the wicked Jafar. When the film was released, it actually only got mixed reviews. Most of the issues were towards Guy Ritchie's direction. But what do I think, and what flaws have I found to this film, as we discuss 10 things that can make Aladdin better. Number 10. The Cave of Wonder. So in this film, once again, we have the Cave of Wonder. That's how we start off with the film. And it looks gorgeous. But the issue's not with the Cave of Wonder itself, it's more with its rules. As Aladdin enters the Cave of Wonders, he says only one may enter here. Okay, that's fine, except one doesn't enter. He enters with a poo. So, okay, fine. You've let Apu in, so Apu doesn't really count. So why does when Apu actually steal the jewel, it's classed as Aladdin's doing it, when only one may enter? Bit of a big flaw there, but still, I'm picking it up. Number 9. Jafar. Marwan Kenzari, I think that's how you say your name, but he does an absolutely amazing job of portraying Jafar. He was brilliant, you got behind him and he was very believable. But there was one thing that was wrong with Jafar, and it was really off-putting all the way through the film. He was too young, he looked too good, and he looked nothing like the original version of Jafar. In fact, the person I kept thinking was Jafar was the guy who played Hakim. He would have been a better look. Now, I don't know whether he could have portrayed Jafar better, because let's face it, that's what they've gone with, is the portrayal, and he hit the nail on the head. It was just more the look of Jafar. Number 8. Rajah. Rajah the Tiger. He was brilliant in the original, and he was brilliant in this film, except there was one thing that Rajah did not do, which he did do in the original. He didn't attack anybody. Let's face it, in the original, he attacked a prince, and had the prince's trousers hanging out of his mouth. In this live action version, he just growled a lot, and growled a lot, and growled a lot, and every time he went to do something, Jasmine stopped him. Oh, give it to us at least once. I think I've got some issues here. Number 7. Jago. In the original, Jago was played by Gilbert Gottfried, and he was amazing and perfect and brilliant. So I was expecting something along the same lines, or even the same voice actor. So when you can imagine my shock when Jago first spoke. He'd been replaced by Alan Tudyk. Now, he does do a good job, and I'm not going to say, no, you did a bad job. He did do a good job, but I was expecting the same sort of Jago, not a more realistic version. I mean, it's still a Disney film. We can have the talking parrot, can't we? Number 6. Songs. So most of the songs have carried over from the original, and they're performed absolutely amazingly. And there is one new song in this, which is a beautiful, awesome song, and it fits sort of when we get to that one a bit later. But the issue I've got with the songs is Will Smith. Will Smith predominantly is a rapper, not a singer. He should have been allowed to have his take on these songs that he sings and rap them, because that's his strength. But he doesn't. He actually sings them, and it doesn't sound quite right. Mainly because Robin Williams sung them so perfectly in the original, and one of the biggest fears was Will Smith was going to imitate and mock and do injustice for Robin Williams. Throughout the entire film, he doesn't. He does his take on it, and it works except for the songs. You should have let Will Smith go to the studio and did his version, a rap version of these songs. It would have worked. And before anyone says no, it wouldn't, there is a Friend Like Me Will Smith version, a rap version, which is better. It's on the original soundtrack. I did actually listen to the soundtrack. It's a brilliant song. It would have fitted so much more better, but they went with the original ones and it wasn't quite right. Number 5, Disney logo. Bizarrely enough, this is something I brought up in the Lion King Disney remake, that Disney snuck in the Mickey Mouse logo. But in this one, they went one step further. They stuck in the whole Disney castle in this film. The carpet made a sandcastle. This sandcastle was the Disney castle. But it didn't stop there, it got one step further. Carpet threw sand over it, so you got the over the castle. We know it's a Disney film. You don't need to put a Disney Easter egg in a Disney film. If Warner Brothers did this film, I would have saw the funny side of it, but it's a Disney film. No, stop sticking your logo in as an Easter egg. That doesn't count as an Easter egg. Number 4, books. Yeah, in this film, there's lots of books, which is great. It means that Jasmine is fully educated. Everyone is full of education. Except books weren't around. Aladdin, if you follow it, Aladdin, you're looking at set around about the 10th century BC, and hardback books did not reach the Middle East until the 13th century, 300 years before, or 300 years after this film is set. They would not have had books. It would have all been done on scrolls. Literally scrolls and scrolls and scrolls everywhere. Not books, scrolls. Number 3, music video. Disney seems to be going in this direction where they're actually putting a music video in the middle of their films. And they don't need to be. Now, the example is Speechless, which was sung by Princess Jasmine, especially the second time that song came about. It's a brilliant, and I mean it's an amazing song, and I'm not going to dispute that. It's really heartfelt, really powerful. But it's done as a music video because she sings it, has the song, has the music video, and then it sets back to just before she starts singing it and turns around and does what she sort of did in the music video. Why couldn't you not incorporate it? I've said this before, if you're going to have a song in a film, incorporate it into the film. Don't like just take it out and have it as in her imagination. You want the film, you want the song to be a part of the film. That's what makes the songs work. And this could have done it. You didn't have to take it out. I felt it was very relevant, but you should have incorporated it. When she's trying to stand up for her father, trying to talk to Hakim to like say ignore Jafar as the Sultan, it would have worked, but no. You put it as a separate music video and it just felt a little bit off. Number 2, magic carpet. I'm not saying anything bad about magic carpet. I'm glad they had the magic carpet in because I probably would have put that down as a whole section on its own. So why am I actually mentioning the magic carpet? Well, it's more of how Carpet died. Now, in the original, he just got turned into a ball of string, and that was fine. It was not as horrific. But in this film, you actually saw Magic Carpet's head get ripped off. I was horrified watching that. No, and what made it worse is they paraded his ripped up body around everywhere until Genie resurrects him like he does in the original, which I'm glad about. But did you have to show him being ripped apart? That was a bit graphic for a kids' film. I know I'm talking about Magic Carpet, but Magic Carpet is one of the best characters in the original and in this. Number 1, not the Sultan. Big boo-boo on Disney's part. Jasmine would not have become the Sultan. Now, before everyone shouts at me saying, you're being anti-women, I'm not. I'm actually being factual here. Now, it was, bizarrely enough, quite common for ladies and women to become leaders of their countries in the Middle East, and only a rare couple were called sultans. The proper name of it is sultana. Yes, based after the fruit. That's what she would have been called. And there was quite a few of these women. She wouldn't have been sultan. Facts. This is facts. I'm not being anti-women. This is facts. She would have been called a sultana. Final thoughts. So what do I think of this film? Well, let's face it, it's a Disney film. It's a Disney live action film. It's a Disney live action remake. So on paper, I should be hating it, but I don't. I'll be the first to admit, this week I've gone back to my nitpicking ways because that's what I'm good at. I've watched this film, I've laughed at this film, I've loved this film. People, as I said at the beginning, the biggest criticism is Guy Ritchie's direction. Now, when I was watching this, one of the first things I actually had was about his direction. The fact that he had rearranged the story. And I was like, I didn't like that. So I actually had it written down as one of the points to make this film better. But strange enough, as I watched this film, I realised he'd done it in a way to improve the film. And I actually enjoyed it, took it off the list, and I actually see where Guy Ritchie was coming from. I actually like what he's done with his version of this film. He's kept it close to the original. He's kept it close to what he's good at. On the street type grime thug dramas. So that's what he's strong and good at. And he's taken that into this film and it's worked. On paper, Guy Ritchie directing a kids film should not work, but he did it. And it was brilliant and it was very well done. The casting was amazing. Will Smith was perfect as the Genie. Now I know there was a few other people in contention, but let's face it, who else could replace Robin Williams as the Genie? If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. But it was perfect. Will Smith was perfect. Jasmine and Aladdin had the perfect cast. I know there was some issues about Jasmine's casting, but she has the right ethnicity, even though she is English. She has the right background to play Jasmine, so I will let that go. But yeah, the film was brilliant. The music was brilliant, other than Will Smith's songs. Other than that, you can't help, and you sing along to it every time. So what am I going to rank this out of 10? Well, I've done it once before, and this is going to be the second film to get it. 10. I am giving this film 10 out of 10. Quite bizarre that it's only Disney I seem to get 10 out of 10 to, and it's not because they actually let me use their clips when I give them a high ranking. But yeah, it's that good. It brings back some things that are missing out of Disney films, and that's the Disney magic, which only Disney can do. But Disney had it in this one. It was perfect. No, it wasn't. There's no such thing as a perfect film. I never said that. Anyway, on to next week. What are we going to do next week? Well, we are going to go back to the streets. We're going to have some fights. There's your clue. First person to guess it, I will pin the correct answer. And if you want to get in touch with me on social networking, just search for @berryman81. All there's links in the description below. But other than that, I will see you next Sunday. Have a nice time. Bye bye.